Listen, she's a gorgeous young woman, and the WNBA is full of attractive young women, but you can't go down the line and complain about being objectified later, whether it's right or wrong. It won't work with people, and when you do things like that and you're drawing attention to yourself, that can be problematic for you. Imagine this. On New Year's Eve, Angel Reese posts a picture online that is more look at me than game. And Stephen A. Smith goes off, and just like Reese's journey is a warning to athletes everywhere. But don't worry, we're not just here to break it down. Smith didn't hold back when criticizing Reese's attention-seeking behavior, and this is the part of the backlash that I like the most. It's obvious that a lot of people can't handle it, so perhaps you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash and provoke the backlash from WNBA rebounding leader to Instagram exile. Bending shortly, Quick's play is the name set behind one of the biggest. You won't believe what he said about Reese's frantic plea for attention and how it's affecting her future in the WNBA. You're ready to let it go, especially when the comparison is made to Caitlin Clark, who isn't doing such things. I'm not saying it's unfair, and you certainly have the right to live your life and dress however you want, but people have the right to express their opinions about what you put on display, and if they don't like it and think it's not, when it comes to building your brand, it's not the right thing for you to be doing. And I don't know how you can argue that. Tori, the clock is ticking down to midnight, and Angel Reese is wearing a stunning dress that will be ready to ring in 2025, but her fans weren't particularly thrilled with this performance. Reese posted this video on Instagram, likely thinking she would blow the internet apart, but it backfired big time. Her fans had comments that made everyone cringe, including her diehard fans, saying things like, "What were you thinking?" I'm talking about my daughter, so I'm fully aware that Daddy had better damn well not see an outfit like that on social media. I'm not judging, Angel. I'm talking about your life. You say I'm not having it. So the image of Reese posing and strutting in a barely there dress that barely covered anything got everyone worked up. They could be in college, in Boston, LA, or any place in between. Daddy will drop the mic hop in the car, on the plane, or wherever I'll be. The most significant aspect of all of this is that obviously she is uncomfortable with some of the backlash that she is receiving because she deleted her Instagram. Let's be honest here. This isn't just about a dress. It's about a young athlete who may have just hurt her own image. This wasn't your typical New Year's outfit. It was meant to turn heads, and boy, did it ever. As things heated up, Reese's social media went quiet, and then all of a sudden, her Instagram disappeared. I'm not trying to say that Reese should be criticized or that she is incorrect. Rather, I'm saying that by taking it down, you clearly felt that something was wrong, and you know it's serious. Now that the sports world has grown old enough to know better, everyone is wondering what's next for Reese. But before we can even catch our breath, Stephen A. Smith enters the chat, and boy, did he have some thoughts about Angel Reese's New Year surprise. Didn't just comment, he went into full-blown dad mode on Reese. Let's analyze his reaction because it's hilarious. Yes, you are young, you are 22, and there are many things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. I understand that as I'm 30 years old now and there was no social media back then, but she knows this social media, and she's a brilliant young woman who is smart and accomplished. On top of that, she is in this age. She is aware that social media exists and has used it to her advantage. So when you take that into account, you're aware of the images and the perception that you're avoiding creating about yourself. To start, Smith called out Reese's hypocrisy before you could say double standard, pointing out that you can't later complain about being objectified because that will leave a mark. But wait, there's more. Smith wasn't interested in letting Reese off the hook that easily. I have a problem with Tori Angel Reese because of what she has done. Let's face it, she will be somewhat attached to Caitlin Clark if Angel Reese had never waved her hand in her face when LSU was beating Iowa for the first time. To play a little game of comparison and contrast, guess who emerged as the shining example of how to handle your brand? That's Caitlin Clark, the one who has been busy dominating both on and off the court without any hint of controversy. Smith didn't mince words when he said, what's not debatable is the fact that Caitlin Clark has handled her branding extremely well. In contrast with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching your head and wondering what the hell she's doing, like that photo right there. It's a slam dunk comparison. Clark is out here building an empire while Reese is, well, you know. But here's the thing, Smith is like watching a high stakes game of identity tug of war, and right now Reese seems to be losing. You have to be aware that no matter how you leave your house, you are now Angel Reese, and you will always be picked apart. Unfortunately, it comes with the crown. You're a queen. You're beautiful. You know, so you just have to remember that if you're not ready for the heat, then, you know, you just need to be aware of what comes with it. Smith's guests added fuel to the fire with their opinion that Reese is desperate for attention. It seems like she's playing a game of notice me while the rest of the sports world is attempting to concentrate on actual games. This is where it gets serious, though, as Smith suggests that this could have an impact on Reese's WNBA career. Are teams watching you? He was spot on when he said that when you do things like that and draw attention to, in the world of professional sports, your reputation isn't just about what you do on the court, it's about how you carry yourself. That can be problematic for you. It may have been a right or wrong decision depending on how she feels or what other people. I'm just saying that even though she's not Caitlin Clark, she will be reminded that she's not Caitlin Clark with every positive thing that Caitlin Clark does, because that was her number one, missed in many people's odd number one. Off it as well, and at the moment, Reese's off-court antics are overshadowing her game. Smith says that Reese needs to make a quick decision about whether she wants to be known for her game or her Instagram game, because in the fast-pacing world of professional sports, a star from yesterday can quickly become today's cautionary tale. She deleted account number 2, and she was seen in a number of interviews discussing threats, insults, and tears about how people were attacking her with such venom and animosity. What's next for Angel Reese? Will she take Smith's advice to heart and improve her game, or will she double down on her attention-seeking behavior? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the balls are in her court. Now let's talk about the shining example, specifically in her final year at LSU before she eventually graduated the pros. She brought up all of these things, which means she was aware of them. If you're aware of them, you have to understand that that's going to be part of the judgment that comes against you, fair or unfair. Smith compared Reese to Shall We? If you've watched this far and found the video entertaining, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We understand that watching this video takes up some of your time, and we appreciate it. Now, let's get back to the action with Caitlin Clark. The reason I bring her up is because they are so close that they will eventually be compared to. When you look at Caitlin Clark, she is B. She was a Rookie of the Year and one of the finalists for league MVP honors as a rookie, breaking all kinds of. The two celebrities couldn't be more different. Caitlin Clark is living her best life, while Angel Reese is stirring up drama. She should have been on Team USA, but she chose to play in an unmasked league. Her brand building has been incredibly impressive. Clark has been busy, and for good reason. She has won numerous Athlete of the Year awards, given a speech at a recent women's forum in Massachusetts, and hung out with football greats Jason and Travis Kelce on their podcast. Oh, and she has been to the gym several times with. We must keep in mind that Reese is not Caitlin Clark, and we cannot ask her to be someone else besides herself, especially not right now. We want you to be yourself, and we love seeing the wonderful parts of your journey. However, we also need to keep in mind that she is 22 years old, and the media is enamored with this story. It's like a sports movie come to life. Head coach Stephanie White Clark is not just talking big, she's making it happen. It's amazing to watch the contrast between Reese's struggles on social media and Clark's actions. While everyone is talking about Reese drama, Clark is inspiring kids by showing girls that they can be successful and respected without drama. We understand that everyone has their own taste, flavor, and definitely their own rights, but there are people who will use their right to be extremely critical about it. And I'm not even talking about the outfit, that Angel's wearing. Getting praise for her play and behavior off the court is another story. Let's look at what Clark is doing instead. Whether she likes it or not, Reese will have to deal with the pressure of being compared as a brand to someone who is conducting their branding with near perfection. That's what I mean when I say that in sports, how you handle fame matters. Clark is demonstrating to everyone that you don't need controversy to stay relevant. All you need is talent, hard work, and a level head. The difference between the two is obvious. Clark is all about basketball, while Reese is making headlines for other reasons. Pressure, fame, and responsibility. Clark is demonstrating that you can be a star without the drama, and that's the kind of victory that endures. The bosses are constantly observing you, whether directly or indirectly, so no matter what you post, they're trying to gauge your intentions based on what they see. Now let's talk about the cost of fame, people. Is all this attention seeking worth it for Angel Reese? Let's start by breaking it down. While scandalous posts may garner more likes than a scoreboard in overtime, do they really pay the bills? Before this whole mess, Reese was sitting pretty with endorsement deals from big names like Amazon and Reebok Beats by Dre. We're talking about a cool $1 dollar. $8 million isn't bad for a 22-year-old, isn't it? But the problem is that those profitable partnerships are now in danger of failing. The pain I felt for her in this situation is that brands don't exactly want to be associated with controversy. It's like Reese just fumbled the bag and is now trying to get better. I don't want Adidas or Nike to reject her because they don't think she's marketable, because neither do I, you know? However, I want her to know that if she's listening, we're still excited to see you bring back that gorgeous Instagram page and just learn from it. Before she went dark, Reese had an incredible 5 million Instagram followers. A lot of attention and potential influence were lost in an instant. But there's more to consider. Will WNBA teams reconsider when Reese's contract is up for renewal? That's the big question. Remember Kyrie Irving? His social media antics cost him a lot of endorsements. Could Reese be following in her footsteps? It's a risk that could end her career sooner than a coach's poor decision. Younger kids today can't see what will happen to them 40 years from now.